Hi, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Laurie. I am a fantasy reader and it's time to set a March TBR. I have already picked out the 4 books that I am setting myself for my TBR, but if you're new here, I also have 3 picked out of this little red cup. These are, to be honest, these are coming quite sparse. I need to update these. But these are the books that are on my physical TBR, and having them in this cup just helps me prioritize the books I should be reading, the books I don't typically see, because I have so many books and I have books behind books that sometimes I don't always see all the books on my physical TBR. I do have a spreadsheet and I probably could use my spreadsheet, but this is more fun and this helps randomize my TBR. So I like setting myself both, just helps me, gives me options, because I am first and foremost a mood reader, and again 95% of the time I do not finish the TBR I set on my monthly. I think I've read 2 books. I'm on my 3rd book that I set on my February TBR, which is not great. I do have one other that I'm planning on reading before February is up, but it is what it is. I'm doing my best. But we're going to start with the books that I've set on my own TBR. I gave myself a bit of a variety. I'm trying to prioritize the books that have been on my TBR for longer. I'm also, while saying that, trying to prioritize new releases and books that I receive in the mail so that they don't last so long on the TBR. So doing both at the same time, not that great. But the first book I set on my TBR is The Hunter's Gambit by Seal Perlott. This has been on my TBR for about a year and a half, I'd say now. But I remember really gravitating towards this when I picked this up abroad. It's got vampires, it's got it's got political intrigue, and I think it has some sort of trials. I really love vampire reads, so I don't know why this has been on my TBR for so long. I think it's because on my TBR to car, and I typically look for books on my shelves, which doesn't make sense, but it's time to finally read this. And I think this is one that I'm actually going to get to, because I remember really being interested in this, and like I said, I really love vampire reads, so yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Next is What Blooms from Death by S.M. Gaither. This is a book I was really excited about and really looking forward to when the author was putting snippets of the book on their social media. Then I got it in the mail and I kept pushing off month by month. Now book 2 is almost being released. What Echoes in the Dark, I think it's due to be released in the next month or 2. I have no excuse not to read this, because then if I love this, I'll be able to pick up book 2 quite quickly. Actually, I think it's being released in March, so fairly soon. So I really want to read this before book 2 is released, so I know whether to pick up book 2 or not. And yeah, this really does seem quite up my alley. I've liked S.M. Gaither's other works. It's kind of hit and miss with this author, so I'm intrigued to see how this one goes. I probably should tell you what this is about. Princess Bellanova has spent years in exile after escaping the curse that cast a death-like slumber over her. Oh, so it's like Sleeping Beauty? Oh, anyway. Escaping the curse that cast a death-like slumber over her family. Her talents for necromancy and thievery have kept her alive and given her a fearsome reputation. Interesting. But survival isn't enough. Lemonor, the Blade of Light, lies deep in the belly of the underworld. Stealing it back into the realm of the living could undo the curse and restore her family, her reputation, and her kingdom to life. All that stands in her way are monsters, unpredictable magic, and Alexander, the infamous Light King himself, who wielded the blade on the night of her family's ruin. But Alex has spent nearly a decade trapped in the underworld. He needs Nova if he's going to escape back to the world above, and she needs him to undo the curse. But as an ancient magic begins to unfold, their reluctant alliance blooms into something deeper and more dangerous. Oh yeah, this sounds right up my alley. Oh, I'm very excited about this. I swear, all it does, I just need to read the blurb more, and I think that would make me more enticed to read the books. I also love this cover, so very excited about that one. Next is Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyke. This is a Norse mythology book, and I think it's kind of similar to that, where it all hinges on a blade. The world believed the gods were myth and the giants were only stories. They were wrong. I think we're following an FMC who's being raised by Odin, who is a Norse god, and he raised her to obey, to bleed, and to be his blade when the time came. Now he's sending her to Ender University, a place steeped in ancient bloodlines and deadly secrets, with one mission: to steal back the Hammer of Legend. If she fails, everyone she loves die. But Arik Eriksson wasn't part of her plan. He is the enemy's heir, distant, dangerous, and the one person she absolutely cannot afford to fall for. He has closed himself off completely, and the more she tries to unravel him, the harder it becomes for her to remember who she truly is and where the lies end. Only a mission she never chose and a man she was never meant to love stands between her and a war that will decide the fate of the world. I love mythology-based books, and this sounds really, really interesting. Very excited to be adding this to the TBR. Last but not least, An Ember in the Ashes by Saber Hitahir. This is one of the books on my 26 books for 2026. I was supposed to read this during a 24-hour readathon, but unfortunately I didn't have enough time to get to it. It has been calling out for me ever since I've bought the books, the physical books, and I have been really, really intrigued to pick up the series, to find out what the hype is about and see what I'm missing out on. So I'm finally adding it to the TBR. I think it's definitely one I'm going to get to, and I think this is going to be really good. I think this is a book that I would gravitate towards anyway, and I really want to see what the hype is about. Everyone praises these books and says that they are some of the best fantasy books they've ever read, and I feel like this is something that I have to read, and it takes me down one book on my 26 books for 2026, to which I'm doing very well on, surprisingly. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be the star of March. I usually also add my Fairy Lou romantasy book pick for the month that I receive it. So this month was Half City in February, to which I have started. But I know what the book is, and I'm not all that excited about the book. I'm torn between skipping it or keeping it. I didn't like their other release. It wasn't for me, but I don't know if that was because of the genre it was in. Like, it was a YA, and this book is obviously a new adult romance. It's like for older, so I don't know if it's going to do better. I think I might keep it, and if I don't like it, I can just unhaul it. I don't know. I'm really torn, but I probably won't get to it in March because I'm not that excited about it. Now, that wraps up my potential TBR. Now it's time to pick out 3 books from the Little Red Cup. I haven't updated this in a minute, and I did do some unhauling a while ago. I think I say this every month, but I am going to update this month. Anyway, the first book pick is Our Vicious Oaths. Oh, yay! Okay, the first book pick is Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I am so happy that this was picked. I have been wanting to read this for quite a while, and now I have no choice but to read it because it's on my TBR, and I think this is definitely a book that I'm going to reach for. It's a standalone. I've heard amazing things, and yeah, I've been really wanting to pick up more standalones just because I don't want to really get into the middle of any more new series. She says that while picking 3 new series to read, but I think this is going to be amazing. I'm so looking forward to this, and it sounds like such a good romantasy book. Book pick number 2 is The Ruin of Kings. Okay, I'm gonna repick just because I am in the middle of my Brandon Sanderson read, and I'm on Yumi and the Nightmare Painter right now, and I don't want to pick any more high fantasy books until I at least get a portion through Brandon Sanderson's Cosme universe. So I'm not going to pick this one, even though I should, but I just know I will not read it while I'm reading Brandon Sanderson. So I'm going to repick. Book number 2 is... Watch this be another high fantasy book. Oh. Merciless Ones. I don't have this book anymore. Yeah, I unhauled a bunch of books. It's funny because book 1 was one of the best YA books I've ever read, but I'm just not... It's been on my TBR for so long that I had to unhaul it. Okay. It's the 3rd time lucky. Book pick number 2, Dreams Lie Beneath. This is a relatively new book to the TBR. I picked this up like late last year. Dreams Lie Beneath by Rebecca Ross. This is a standalone of this author. I've never read from this author before, so when I was in Waterstones, I really wanted to give one of her books a try because I've heard really good things about Divine Rivals. I think that's her duology. But I didn't want to dive into a duology, and I thought a standalone would be really good. And this sounds really, really interesting. It says, who can break the curse over the... There's a lot of curses in these books. Who can break the curse over the realm of Azenor? Clementine understands that her future holds one thing, taking over her father as a magical territory warden. Every new moon, magic flows down from a nearby mountain into Azenor, bringing nightmares to life. Though she secretly yearns to study the wild side of magic, Clementine is resigned to a future of protecting her town from its citizens' worst dreams. But when two magicians challenge her father for his domain, and he loses, Clementine's future is upended. She seeks revenge on one of her father's challengers, but as she gets closer to the vexingly handsome magician, secrets begin to rise. Once keen on revenge, Clementine instead finds herself drawn into a centuries-old conflict. She must unite with Flen, that's such an interesting name, to face the realm's curse, which seems to be haunting her every turn. I've picked a lot of books with curses for some reason for this month, but I'm really excited because I've been wanting to read this. This was actually one of the books I wanted to read in December, but December ended up being an unlucky reading month. I did not read as much as I wanted to, so now it's set on the TBR and I can finally read it, and it's another standalone, which is perfect. I'm going to update this cup tonight, to be honest. Okay, the third and final book pick is Strange the Dreamer by Liani Taylor. This is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get to this one, but we're going to try our best. I'm going to go grab the book. Okay, this is another book that's been on my TBR for way too long. I did add this to my 26 books to read in 2026. I did try to read this a while ago, but I just didn't seem to be in the mood of it, so I did like a soft DNF. But I think this is going to be my last chance to read this. If I don't read this, I think I'm going to unhaul the duology, which is going to be really painful because I loved Liani Taylor's trilogy, Daughter of Smoke and Bone. That was such an amazing trilogy. So to unhaul this duology is just going to be very painful. So hopefully I enjoy it. Hopefully I like it, and let's see if I get to it this month. So that is all the books I have picked for my March TBR. I think this is a really amazing book pick. Like, this is an amazing stack of books. I genuinely think this might be a very successful TBR reading month because I see no reason why I won't pick up every single one of these. So I'm really, really looking forward to this month of, well, March is still a couple days away, but I'm really looking forward to March's reading. I have had a really good February reading month, not in terms of my TBR though, so hopefully March will be better. I think it will because there's a definite variety of books here, so I'm really looking forward to it. But I really hope you liked this video. Please let me know what book you're adding to your March TBR, your potential March TBR, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.